In a major blow to Blake Lively, a judge has dismissed her fat-shaming allegations against Justin Baldoni, ruling they could not reasonably support a claim, significantly weakening her legal battle ahead of trial. The judge also threw out all of the actress' sexual harassment claims, marking a significant win for Baldoni. The legal saga between the It Ends With Us co-stars, which began in December 2024, took a dramatic turn with Judge Louis Lehman's ruling on Thursday, leaving Lively, 39, with just 3 claims to pursue: breach of contract, retaliation, and aiding and abetting retaliation. The trial is still scheduled to proceed May 18 in New York City, but now Lively's case is dramatically thinner. Baldoni's attorneys, Alexandra Shapiro and Jonathan Bach, told Daily Mail, "We're very pleased the court dismissed all sexual harassment claims and every claim brought against the individual defendants: Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, Melissa Nathan, and Jennifer Abel. These were very serious allegations, and we are grateful to the court for its careful review of the facts, law and voluminous evidence that was provided. What's left is a significantly narrowed case, and we look forward to presenting our defense to the remaining claims in court." Among Lively's allegations was that Baldoni crossed professional boundaries during filming of It Ends With Us, claiming he kissed her during a scene where the script didn't call for it. She also accused him of entering her trailer while she was breastfeeding and alleged that a producer showed her a video of his wife giving birth. Sigrid Macaulay, a member of Lively's legal team, told the Daily Mail, "This case has always been and will remain focused on the devastating retaliation and the extraordinary steps the defendants took to destroy Blake Lively's reputation because she stood up for safety on the set, and that is the case that is going to trial." For Blake Lively, the greatest measure of justice is that the people and the playbook behind these coordinated digital attacks have been exposed and are already being held accountable by other women they've targeted. She looks forward to testifying at trial and continuing to shine a light on this vicious form of online retaliation so that it becomes easier to detect and fight. Sexual harassment isn't going forward not because the defendants did nothing wrong but because the court determined Blake Lively was an independent contractor, not an employee. In his ruling, Judge Louis Lehman said that legal contracts that Lively cited for her claim were unenforceable because she didn't sign them. In particular, Lively did not sign the Actor Loan-Out Agreement, or ALA, which would have governed sexual harassment on set, after squabbling with Baldoni's team for months about the terms. In his 152-page ruling, the judge wrote, "It is clear that the ALA is not and has never been a validly formed and binding contract, as It Ends With This movie unambiguously expressed an intent not to be bound absent a fully executed and signed agreement." The judge disagreed with Lively for claiming she could sue because there was no evidence the parties disagreed over the rest of the provision regarding sexual harassment. "That slices matters too finely," Judge Lehman said. The question whether Lively would have the unilateral right to halt production of the film if in her view sexual harassment occurred is hardly inconsequential. The fact that the parties were not able to come to terms on such provision provides powerful evidence that no contract had yet been formed. Judge Lehman also disagreed with Lively's pleading that she could sue using the ALA because of Baldoni's discussions about it. The ruling stated, "The court disagrees. Considering Lively's evidence both in isolation and as a whole, it fails to raise a genuine issue of material fact concerning formation of the Allah. In a blunt part of the ruling, Judge Lehman said, ultimately, Lively fails to confront what is the central dilemma in her claim. She contends that the Allah became binding on IEWUM at some point while the parties were still negotiating it, but she cannot pinpoint a time when the parties began to be bound by it or which version of the Allah they were bound to. Unless both parties are bound, neither party is bound. Which draft of the Allah bound Lively? Was it the version that lacked the sexual harassment provision? In his ruling, Judge Lehman knocked down another of Lively's arguments and said she gets things backwards. It was in response to the idea that simply because Baldoni had paid her allowed to sue under the Allah. However, the judge said that Lively's claims under another legal contract, the Contract Writer Agreement, or CRA, stand on firmer ground, especially the part that relates to not allowing retaliation for raising concerns about conduct on set. The CRA was signed in January 2024 by Jamie Heath, the producer of the film, and included a list of 17 requirements in order for Lively to return to filming. Baldoni has claimed that he felt they had little choice in order for the film to be completed. Among the provisions was that there would be no improvised sex scenes of any kind. Judge Lehman cited in particular the part which said there should be no retaliation of any kind against artists for raising concerns about the conduct described in this letter.